What's going on, guys? It's dashdrop here again with episode 2 of our game dev code along series. So we are exactly where we left off the first time with our beautiful Drake moving around here on the screen. But today I'm actually gonna be replacing Drake with my own entity. So I've got my drawing tablet ready here. So I'm gonna launch up Photoshop and basically just start working on something. So I'm actually gonna start off with around 500 by 500 pixels just to get the basic sketch in, because I don't want to start working on the pixel art before I know what I want to do and which colors I want to use. For the ground, I'm thinking a very simple gray just for now. I'm probably gonna change this to some type of tiling system later, but for now this is gonna have to do. For the player, what do we want to do? I'm thinking also some kind of light gray, like robot-ish thing. We got this little droid looking guy with his two arms on the side. Here is where it's gonna shoot. Just like that. And then I need to give him some sort of visor here. This is turning out great. I suppose you could do something like this. And as I said before, this is gonna be pixel art, so this is not even close to the finished product. I hope, at least, because this does not look the best. But yeah, basically something like this. And as the cursor moves around, I'm gonna have this guy follow the cursor, so wherever I look, this guy's looking. And then I'm gonna be adding a shooting system too, but that might come in another video, I'm not sure. I started looking at it today, but it's actually a lot of things to implement, so this might just be like the actual like graphic, like a graphics video. Alright, so let's start working on my actual entity. I'm gonna try to make him 32 by 32. I'm not sure if this is gonna be way too small. I think it should be fine, because I want to keep this game kind of simple and not spend too much time on the actual like UI and graphics and whatnot. But yeah, so basically I'm gonna start sculpting out the arms here, and I might actually shrink down the actual body here. Yeah, I'm not a super big fan of this, but I think it's gonna work. It'll do for now, at least. Oh, do I make him like have it? Oh, that looks good. Yeah, let's keep that. That looks good. He's got his little claws. I like it. Maybe I actually do want to add some fire here, just to... I don't know how I would do that on 32 pixels, but yeah. Let's just give him a static shooting animation here. Oh, I might actually... What the hell? Wait, how is that possible? Oh, of course. I'm using the 5x5 average. It's supposed to be point sample. That's very important when you're working with pixel art. So you don't want to be sampling the average between two colors or multiple colors. Oh, damn. Okay, that'll have to do for our character, so let's save him in our assets folder. Alright, let's overwrite Drake. Bye-bye, Drake. I think this is gonna be really small. Oh, he's so tiny! But if I actually set this to 64, I think I could get away with that. Yeah. Alright, so we've got our player. Now, what I want to do is add the rotation to the character. I have this written down in my notepad, but I'm actually gonna try to do this without looking to see if I've actually learned anything, because I tried this before and it works, but I wanna be able to do this on my own. So let's create the function update player rotation. Just to prove I'm not cheating, I'm actually gonna close this altogether. There we go. I am trustworthy, don't worry. Okay, so first of all, we want a mouse X and a mouse Y, which we are gonna use together with the SDL get mouse state. We're gonna pass these by reference, since these are pointers, and this will actually save the state of my cursor, like the X and Y coordinates of my cursor on my screen, in these variables. So that's really handy to use in this case. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, we want to calculate an angle. I think that's all we have to do, if I'm not mistaken. So angle is the arc tangents to, I don't know why we're using 2 here instead of 1, or well, nothing. Yeah, but it works. So we want the mouse Y, I think, first. Does it actually say anything here? Yeah, Y and then X. Mouse Y minus player.y, and then we want the mouse X minus the player.x. So that's our angle, but this is in radians, so what we have to do to convert this is time it by 180 and divide it by pi, because that's the official formula, I guess, for converting between radians and degrees. And then we want to do player.rotate, rotate with the angle. And this is actually a function I forgot to delete because I was gonna create this in this tutorial. But yeah, I added the rotate right here. So all I do is just set the rotation angle to the actual degrees. And I think that's all we have to do. We have to call the function as well. Just like that. And when we launch this... Okay, he's a little off, I guess. Let me actually see how far off he is. But it seems like he is 90 degrees off. So I wonder if I add 90 degrees here. Nope, that's the wrong way. So maybe negative. Hey, look at that! We've got a little guy moving around. Oh, he's so cute. Alright. Damn, he's one spinny boy. Yeah, so the idea is, well, he's basically gonna be moving around, and wherever the cursor is, he's gonna be shooting. And I think I wanna automatically generate enemies on random positions, and then I want them moving closer to him. I would like to spawn one entity here, and maybe one here, one over here, and one here, and I want them all to be moving right towards him. And I think as the difficulty progresses, there are gonna be more enemies. In the end, I want there to be 20 or 30 enemies just chasing me down. Okay, how do I clear this up? Do I have to go to eraser? Maybe I should actually make this a tile system. Or I don't think I have to make it a tile system because it's gonna be a static background, I think. Because my first idea was to have the background and the enemies move, so when the player walks, what's actually moving is everything around him. But I don't know if I want to do that anymore. I'm gonna try to just make it a static background. But that doesn't have to mean I'm not gonna make it pretty. So actually I think I'm gonna divide this by yeah, let's divide it by 10 so it's more of a pixel art. So my main idea here is basically to just create these tiny craters, I guess. I guess this could be kind of a moon game, now that I think of it, because this guy kind of looks like an astronaut-ish robot droid thingy. That might not be a terrible idea. Might want to add some highlights too. Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. Alright, that'll have to do for the ground. I'm gonna try to do something now, but it's probably gonna look really bad. So if I want to render, I want to render a completely new entity. So what I want to do is just load in the texture right away, and then just set it to 840 by 840. Does that work? No. Oh, because it's a reference. Is that why? Yeah, it's because I'm creating a new instance of an entity here. That's why. So I'm just gonna create a local variable. There we go. So entity ground. and then just render out the ground. That might be alright. But it's gonna, yeah, it's gonna hide the player because order matters. Yeah, there we go. I might actually have to tile this. That's actually quite nice tiling. At least on the horizontal axis. I think the vertical is gonna be a bit trickier to love. I mean, I could always flip this like that. You know what? I'm actually gonna do that. Yeah, I mean, it's... I guess it's better. It's not what I imagined. But it's alright. It actually... Whoa, it's actually really trippy looking at the entity or the player while he's moving around. Like the background completely messes with your head. What the, what the hell? It's a new optical illusion. Alright, so maybe I want to work on spawning the entities randomly. That might be a good idea. What I'm thinking of doing is actually setting new parameters for the X and Y position. So int X, int Y. As I explained in the first video, you should always have separate names just to avoid confusion. It totally works by setting them to the same name, but it might be really confusing. The players should spawn, and this is actually where I'm gonna be experimenting a bit, because I want the entities to spawn in the middle, but because right now the window is 840 by 840, so 420 by 420 should be the center, but since I'm scaling this guy, that might not be the case. Let's see. That's like almost the center. I think I have to set back the entity like 32 points. Because when I spawn him in the corner, he's not actually spawning like in the top corner. He's spawning like his top corner is in the corner, not the center of his body. So if I spawn him in the middle, I think that'll do fine actually. Just setting him back 32 by 32. That's okay. I would like to spawn some enemies. To spawn the enemies, I'm thinking of using a vector. Let's actually do make the vector a member variable. Enemies. Enemies. First of all, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to use the random library here. Just do int rand that, and then I'm gonna try to print r. Let's print R 20 times just to make sure that the random thing is actually working. No, it's not. Oh, of course. I'm fucking stupid. I have to, for every iteration, I obviously have to set it to a new random value. I mean, come on. Yeah, that works. That works fine. So, let's do random X and random Y. Randy. That should be alright. So, if I now just try to construct an enemy here, I'll do window, load texture. Let's just spawn another player here. Let's set him to rand X, rand Y, and then also make him 64 by 64. So, if I render out this guy, I just want to make sure he actually spawns somewhere randomly. So right now he's there, and then he's there. Okay, so I'm gonna try pushing back new entities, 10 of them. But what I also want to do is make sure that these guys are generated over and over again. And then I obviously have to for auto enemy in enemies. Let's render out every single enemy and see how that looks like. Okay, I would say that's rather random, I guess. Okay, so the enemies look great. Now what I actually want to do, and I think this is going to be the final step for this video because I'm getting a little tired of recording. Let me just set these brackets here. Good practice, in case you need to add more code. Always have these brackets there. Okay, so we're adding these enemies. I'm obviously going to clean this code up more. Could actually add a function called generate enemies. Like that. Cut that out. Do that. Just like that, we're spawning in the enemies, we're getting 10 of them, we're generating them right before the start. Actually put the bool right there to keep everything just a bit more organized. I guess that's alright. But what I actually want to do is make another function called update enemy rotation, where I'm gonna go through every single enemy in the vector and make sure they're always looking at the player. I wonder, yeah, that shouldn't be too hard to make actually. Update enemy rotation. And then for every enemy in enemies, and because this is a member variable of the class, I can actually use it in like whatever function here. So I'm really glad I did that. So let me first of all just put away my drawing tablet because it's kind of in the way. Alright, so what I want to do is basically do the exact same thing here, but instead of calculating the angle between the mouse and the player, it's gonna be between the enemy and the player. So instead of using the mouse, I can actually do player.y minus enemy.y, and then player.x minus enemy.x, and then also times 180 divided by pi to convert to degrees, and then do enemy.rotate by angle minus 90 degrees. And this should actually be all I have to do to make the enemies always look at the player. Am I calling the function? Yes, I am. Alright, let's try it out. Wow, that's actually kinda cool. Alright. That was like way easier than I thought it would be. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but like, yeah, damn. Okay, enough playing around here. What I'm actually gonna do is make an enemy entity just to end the video in a decent way. So obviously enemies need to be red. That's like rule number 1. Swear to God, if anybody types Among Us in the chat, I'm going to delete my channel. I'm just kidding. Alright, I'll keep him like that. Maybe add a bit of a orangey vibe. I think that could look alright. Let me save this bad boy as enemy.png, and then obviously we're gonna have to, this is gonna be enemy.png. Yeah, there we go. Ah, they look like little crabs. Okay, it's actually kind of cool. Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you learned something from this video, or at least had fun watching it or coding along. If you did, if you would like to see more of this, please let me know, and if you have any suggestions, also please let me know, because I'm not an educated SDL2 user. I'm only educated in the actual programming language, so there might be a few things I'm not considering, but yeah, just leave a comment. You can always check out my Twitter. It's on my profile right there, so, or don't. I don't know, you can do what you want. But yeah, have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.